So what happened? Whenever you are dealing with the Hadoop 1.x, the default block size will be 64 MB. In case of Hadoop 2.x and 3.x, the default file size will be 128 MB. But the question is, why we need to configure the block size when there is a requirement to store the huge amount of file. Whenever you are getting 500 TB or suppose 500 petabyte of data, then instead of dealing with so many files, it's better to configure the block size according to your own choice, so that we can maintain the metadata information of few of the files. Okay, we'll see this practically. As I've told you, up to how much we can configure the block size? 1 GB. X up to 1 GB. We can configure the file block size. Okay. What is the next configuration block size in Hadoop 1.x? Will be 64 plus 64. What is 128? In case of Hadoop 2.x, 128 plus 128. How much? 256. Also 256 MB. 256 MB in 1.x. 512 MB. Also 512 MB. Here 12 MB in Hadoop 1.x also. Here 1024. 1024 means 1 GB. Up to 1 GB we can configure. Correct. Plus 1024 up to 1 GB. 1024 1 GB. Okay. That much size we can able to extend our configuration for the block size. Okay. So my question is, why we need this much of configuration? If you are getting the 500 terabyte of data, okay, we need to maintain the metadata information in the name node also, right? So that's why we will divide the block to 512 MB or more than that. Then what happen? We can maintain the few small number of blocks. We can maintain the metadata for the few number of blocks. That will enhance our performance in the Hadoop cluster. So that's why such kind of provision has been made in case of Hadoop. Any doubt so far? Any doubt? So this block size will be always converted into from MB to bytes and place in the configuration file. What do you mean by this? I wanted my block size to be suppose 256 MB. Let's say 128 MB. And what will happen? How much I need to put here? I cannot place like 128 MB. I cannot place like 64 MB. I cannot place like 512 MB. Rather, I need to convert that particular MB into number of bytes. And that bytes value I need to write here. So I will Google here. what will happen? 128 MB. Sorry. What is the 128 MB? This much bytes you need to get. It should be in binary format. Okay. What is the byte? This much. This value we need to put there. Configuration file. Okay. HDFS site.xml will place the block size this one. What happened? It is by default text size 128 MB. Okay. Now let's move to how block size will be stored. So at this point of time, what is the block size you have divided into? The block size will be set for 128 MB. If you divide the 200 MB, divide the 200 MB by 128 MB, how many blocks you will get? Yes. Yes, please. Let's say, let me open another one.
2 blocks.
Yeah, correct. I am having a dot log file. Sorry, let's see. Dot log file. It is having a 200 MB size. Okay, at this point of time, my block size will be 128, correct? So how many blocks I will get? 2 blocks. Generate 2 blocks only. Each of which one is this is also 128 MB. This is also this is how much? This is how much?
22.
72. This is the case, then what will happen? Twenty-two MB occupied, but rest of the space will be free. Rest of the space will be not occupied. Okay. Only we can able to manage 72 MB. Rest of the space will be also. It never ever left for another file to store. Let me open the diagram here. To be better explain. Now it's your turn. You need to let me know how many blocks we will generate. My file is a.log. Okay. It's having 100 MB. Another file I am having. It is b.log. Let's say it's having 192 MB. Another file I am having. It is 100 MB. C.log. There are the 3 different files. Okay. So At this point of time, my block size will be, let's say, block size is, let's say 64 MB. The client has sent these three files to the Hadoop cluster. Who will receive this file? Who will going to receive this file? Please, who will going to receive this file?
In name node.
Yeah, correct.
Name, yeah,
Master node. Master node or name node. What will do master node?
You will take the
allocate.
metadata of the particular file.
It will divide to the
Correct.
node.
First of all, it will based on the configuration. Metadata is the second thing. First of all, based on the configuration. If you are going to outstation and book a restaurant, book a hotel room. And what will you do? You will going to meet the manager. The manager will let you know how many rooms are there and how many people you are looking for to book for that particular hotel. So likewise, name node also going to check what is the current configuration, whether it is 64 MB or 128 MB or 256 MB and so on. Based on the configuration only, it is going to divide the block size. Are you getting this point? But I am trying to emphasize on this concept. Why? Because now onwards the actual Hadoop has been started. Okay. So we are going to divide into how many blocks? Yes, please. How many blocks it can able to divide?
102 in 2 blocks.
See? 2 blocks. 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 4 blocks, 5 blocks. How much?
1 minute. Is 200 MB minus divided by 64.
This is 4. Okay.
How many blocks?
200.
4 blocks, I think.
64.
Whole block.
4 blocks, yeah.
Blocks.
So each block, this is also a 64 MB. Okay. 64 MB. This is also 64 MB. This is also 64 MB. This is also 64 MB. How much?
8 MB.
Correct. 8 MB. So here all three equals we can able to store all data in the 64 MB 3 blocks, but this is only contain only 8 MB data. But remaining space will be wasted. It does not share the remaining space with other block, other file. Instead, the whole block will be captured by a.log. You getting this point? The whole block, even though there is a free space, the free space will not going to release the next block to use. Instead, the whole block will be going to used by that. It is specific to the a.log. Never ever going to share that particular block. Okay. So likewise, in this case, how much blocks we can generate?
There are 3.
Also, 3. Also, we are going to 3 block. Here, the thing contain how much? 64 MB only.
64.
64. Space is not there. Okay, there is no free space. Here, how much block? Only 2
Blocks.
blocks.
64, 36.
64. 6. Okay. So remaining space will be cannot release also the remaining space. Okay. So what we understand from here? Whenever a file request comes to the Hadoop cluster, the name node will going to divide that particular file into number of blocks based on the current configuration size in the hdfs-site.xml. Okay. This is the first point. The second point, for each and every file, there is a dedicated number of blocks. Okay. There is a dedicated number of blocks. Third point, each and every blocks, there is no guarantee that each and every block contains the same volume of data. But thing is, if a file is divided into n number of blocks, then n minus 1 will contain the same volume of data except the last block. Getting this point? Next, these are the important points. Let me write them. Okay. Block size design rule. When a request comes to Hadoop cluster, cluster node will divide that file based on the block size configuration in hdfs-site.xml file. The next point. There is a dedicated number of blocks for each and every file. If a file is divided into n number of blocks, then n minus 1 blocks will contain volume of data. Okay. If a file is divided into n number of blocks, n minus 1 blocks will contain equal volume of data. the last block or nth block may or may not contain exact volume H per configuration. Okay, if there is a free space occurs in last block, that then that block does not release that free space. Next available block to use. Instead, will be occupied wholly. Only because H per LDFS design rule, each file has a dedicated block size. Okay, are you getting this point?
Yes, yes.
Please confirm. Any doubts so
Yes.
far? Now let's we move to important step, another one. Okay, so let's see. So what happens? This 128 MB block size will be divided into a log dot a dot log file will be divided into how many blocks? At this point of time, our block size will be, let's say, 64 MB. Yeah? Oh, what is something gone wrong? Size is 64 MB. Then how many blocks it will generate? File size is 200 MB. How many blocks it will going to generate? 3 blocks. Okay. D1, D2, D3. Okay. But all the blocks will going to store in the same node, same data node? No, right?
It will create 4 blocks.
Yes. Yeah, correct, correct. D4. Okay. So it is not going to store the all the blocks, sorry. B1. Which here? B2. Here B3, let's say. Here B4. Okay. So that particular block will be divided, that file size is divided by the name node based on the current configuration size. Okay. Based on the current configuration size, you will divide that particular file based on the current configuration size to the number of blocks and stored in the data node. The block contains the actual data. Okay. So far so clear, right? But what is the content we are going to store in name node? Name node is going to contain the meta information for each and every block here. Meta information is the block address, block name, block address, number of blocks in the data node, which data node, Bangalore location, which block is there, in Singapore data node, which block is there, in London block, which block is there. Suppose I am getting one more file, let's say. Okay. And this file is, let's say it is a B.log of how much MB? Let's say 92. So how many blocks it will going to generate for this one?
3 blocks.
Yeah. B5, B6, 7. So these blocks will be going to stored in, let's say, each one block. Here is one block and here is one block. It is going to store, let's say, each B5, B, B6, B1. Okay. And we are getting another file. Let's say file is there. Which C.log of 100 MB. Then how many blocks it is going to generate? Block, right? B8, B, and it is going to store the B9 here. One block is there, and here one block is there. Let's see. Okay. Block 8, block 9. So what will happen? Data node will going to keep the block details. How many number of blocks are there? Which block and by which data node? All this information it is going to store. Okay, these are all the information it is going to store the name node. This node information is not going to store. Okay, getting this point? Any doubt?
No.
Any doubt so far? One more point. 50 of Okay. They are very, very important point. Please share this note. I believe it's the best note, I believe. You need to understand, you need to go through the session. Okay. The last session also I have explained. This session also I have already explained. I believe you need to go through once again to the block. The next session we will see what is replication. It is very, very important. Okay. So, any doubts so far? Any question?
No.
Let me stop my recording here.